What is going on, everybody? It's the Franz, and we're here again for a SmackDown Live review for Tuesday, March 26, 2018. SmackDown Live just going off the air, and Kofi Kingston is finally going to WrestleMania. And we also know somebody who's not going to WrestleMania unless she's going to be in the Battle Royal, and that would be the former SmackDown Live Women's Champion, Asuka, which makes me realize that I have to change my overlay really soon. Asuka faced off against Charlotte Flair, and Charlotte Flair is your new women's champion, so the main event of WrestleMania has two women's champions in it. As of right now, it is only for the Raw Women's Championship still, so if we go into WrestleMania and it's still the same, and Becky beats Ronda, Charlotte would be the SmackDown Live Women's Champion, while Becky would go to Raw and be the Raw Women's Champion. I have a lot of thoughts on that, but we'll get to that when we get to it. We have 1 week left till WrestleMania for SmackDown. 1 week. And by the way, Kurt Angle had his match against AJ Styles tonight cut completely short. It was absolutely no reason to even have it on this show. It lasted about 2 minutes. And that was that. It lasted about 2 minutes because Randy Orton came out and RKO'd AJ Styles for the end of the match. And it was just, why? And again, we have a week left, one more show before WrestleMania, and the Usos do not have a tag team title match on the show yet. I was going to say, well, Asuka until now was not ready for a championship, even though there was supposed to be a fatal four-way tonight, but we didn't get that. We got Charlotte Flair winning the Women's Championship, so the SmackDown Live Women's Championship is not to be defended at WrestleMania at this time. So, I don't know what they're doing. I'm hoping it's not going to be unification. And, of course, the last 2 weeks have been gauntlet matches, because tonight, Big E and Xavier Woods had to run their own gauntlet to secure Kofi Kingston's spot at WrestleMania. So, basically, what you did last week, you decided we're going to do again, and that's what we got tonight. So, for 2 weeks in a row, we've had gauntlet matches take up pretty much the second half of the show. And unlike last week, where they decided to slap every fan in the face and fuck Kofi Kingston out of the championship match of WrestleMania, they did the right thing tonight, and Kofi Kingston is going to WrestleMania for the SmackDown Live Women, for the WWE Championship. Tonight's show was, the first half of the show was just and the second half was just, I don't know. Wasn't a good show. It was not a good show. I don't care when everyone's like, oh, this was a great moment or everything. This was something that they had done last week, and until Vince McMahon decided, I'm going to walk out there and fuck him over, and we're going to extend this a week. You could have had him win the championship opportunity last week, have him come out this week, sign the contract that was supposed to happen at Fastlane, but sign it this time. Have whatever between those two, have the New Day sign and Rowan sign on the contract that they will not interfere in the match, or if they're seen at ringside, the person they're representing, either Kofi or Daniel Bryan, would automatically forfeit the championship, so it's a one-on-one match at WrestleMania. You could have did that. But no. What'd you do? You had us watch Kofi Kingston get fucked out of his championship opportunity, and Kofi didn't earn his spot at WrestleMania. The new Big E and Xavier Woods earned Kofi's spot at WrestleMania. So, that was SmackDown Live in a nutshell. You had Kurt Angle's farewell match to SmackDown end in a disqualification, so he actually lost one of his matches, which, this is what pisses me off. AJ Styles wins the match by DQ, because he's facing Randy Orton at WrestleMania. Yet Samoa Joe, who's facing Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania, loses clean to Kurt Angle just last night. Are you fucking kidding me? This is just, it just makes no sense. If it's the whole, they want to try and, I just don't get why you're going to have Kurt Angle beat Samoa Joe clean, but then have AJ Styles win by DQ. You could have had Samoa Joe put him in the clutch. He passes out. Joe does not let go. The referee is trying to pull him off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's still holding on. Ding, ding, ding. Ring the bell again. And then Samoa Joe loses by disqualification with the referee's reverse decision. That's what they should have did. Kurt Angle did not need to beat Joe, as Joe is facing Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania. Rey Mysterio is facing Kurt Angle on Monday for Kurt Angle's final match on Monday Night Raw. And I fully expect them to have something. Maybe Samoa Joe shows up again and maybe he causes Rey Mysterio to win by DQ, which again would make him look bad. It's just frustrating that they do that. You have Samoa Joe, who is a champion, the only champion that Kurt Angle is wrestling on his way to WrestleMania, and he beats him. But yet AJ Styles can't lose. AJ Styles has to win by disqualification. You could have had Kurt Angle beat AJ Styles and then have Randy Orton hit the RKO after the match, but they didn't do that. Someone explain this one to me, because it really hurts the United States Championship overall. The fact that you have Kurt Angle beat Samoa Joe clean in a fluky roll-up, or in a fluky manner while he had the clutch on him, yet AJ Styles wins by disqualification. Show starts off with the New Day's music hits. We go right to the ring, and out comes Kofi Kingston, Big E, and Xavier Woods. Tom Phillips welcomes us and joins by Corey Graves and Banner Saxon, as we always know. Fans start chanting for Kofi as soon as the group comes out. Woods wants to be serious for a minute. He says, obviously, the past few months have been an emotional roller coaster for them. Big E says the fans have been here for us the entire incredible journey. From the New Day sucks to the New Day rocks. Big E said it's been almost 5 years they've been together as the New Day. Woods goes on and the Kofi chants start back up, interrupting Woods. Woods says it has been one hell of an experience and they want to say thank you, but Big E says he and Woods spoke and considered the countless obstacles in Kofi's way. They have discussed walking away. Fans start to boo, as they should. Big E says they've done a lot of cool things and made lifelong friends, but a no chant starts up. As long as Kofi stands in between his partners without a mic, Woods says what has been hard about it all has been seeing how poorly Kofi has been treated. Woods says it's not just recently, it's for the past 11 years. They go on about how Kofi stands for the power of positivity. Big E says Kofi does not know the word quit. Woods says they know they need to make a decision, but they can't make that until they get some answers, and unfortunately the person who has those answers is Vince McMahon. As usual, the fans boo. And when it comes to Vince McMahon, I'm just going to say the fans are some massive hypocrites. His music hits up, they're bowing to him, they're singing his tune. He comes out, he opens his mouth, they're like all happy, and then he opens his mouth and people get pissed off. Boo this man! Vince McMahon has done nothing for anything to give us a reason to cheer him. I don't get why when he comes out, it's like he's a god. He's not. Vince calls out Vince to speak to them face to face about the issues they have. Woods says they have no problem waiting in the middle of the ring until Vince comes out. More Kofi chants. The familiar no chant starts up, and out comes Vince McMahon as he marches to the ring with a smile on his face. Vince goes to speak, but out comes Daniel Bryan and Rowan with no music. Bryan tells them to hold on. Bryan doesn't want Vince to waste another breath on the fragile egos of the New Day. Bryan says, let the New Day quit if they want. He goes on and says, we can bring up another trio from NXT, let them throw waffles into the crowd, and they will be more popular than the New Day ever was. Why? Because Kofi was never more than a B-plus player. Vince tries to interrupt, but Bryan keeps talking. Bryan goes on about Kofi's recent losses, telling Vince to not let Woods, Biggie, and the parasites get in Vince's head. Bryan says Vince's instincts have been correct about Kofi all along, 100% correct. Kofi, the people refuse to accept the reality, Woods says. The reality is Bryan is too scared to face Kofi one-on-one. Woods says Bryan has turned into a hypocrite, and that's why he's out here now. Vince finally says, shut up! To all of them. Vince wants to talk about this crap that the New Day tried to make everyone think was happening. He mocks them for the talk of quitting. Vince says they never were going to quit. Vince goes on, the fans respond with the what? Because the what chants are just a thing that still happens. Vince says Kofi is still and will always be a B-plus player because Vince McMahon cannot book a babyface that is not Daniel Bryan circa 2014. 13-14 now. Because this is where we're at. We're at Kofi Kingston is now Daniel Bryan, the underdog babyface. Really? Do we really need this? The only question Vince has is if Big E and Woods are a B-plus tag team. Vince asks if Big E and Woods can put Kofi in the WWE title match at WrestleMania 35. Bryan keeps trying to talk about, but he is ignored and might as well go to the back and enjoy a soda or something. Vince says if Biggie and Woods can win a tag team gauntlet match tonight, Kofi will get the match at WrestleMania, and out goes Vince McMahon. The New Day argue with him. Bryan and Rowan look on from the stage. So, yeah, we got that going on. Again, so for another episode of SmackDown, you're wasting our time with the gauntlet match when you did this exact same thing last week. Why do we need another gauntlet match to prove? Oh, that. So basically what you're telling me is Kofi couldn't get his own opportunity to WrestleMania. He has to make, like, Biggie and Xavier Woods have to prove it for him. I'm happy that Kofi's going to WrestleMania. I don't see him as a long-time WWE champion. It's not going to be a long-time title reign. I don't care what anyone thinks. It's not going to be a long-term title reign. But you got to do better than this. Again, this is just lazy booking, and this WrestleMania season hasn't felt like it. We just get the same thing over and over and over, layers and layers and layers and layers being added to feuds that aren't needed. This was not necessary. You did this last week, and you fucked it up. So you're like, well, we fucked it up last week. Let's do it again, but we got to do Xavier Woods and Big E in the tag team gauntlet. Why? And now let's talk about the Raw Women's title, Triple Threat being the main event of WrestleMania. We see a shot of Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte Flair on ESPN this morning. Yay. Sarah Schreiber, like another one of the robots they have backstage, with Becky Lynch now congratulating her being in the main event. Schreiber, whatever, mentioned Becky winning the Beat the Clock challenge on Raw last night. What? Can someone please again tell me what that Beat the Clock challenge was for? I don't know. Becky says we will all see her win at WrestleMania. Lynch goes on about the match and asks what Flair brings to it, calling her a third wheel and undeserving, which is 100% fact. We hear Flair's music start up in the arena, and that stops Becky from talking to Schreiber. Lynch shakes her head and walks off. We cut to the arena as Flair comes walking down the ramp. Flair says she's about to show everyone how undeserving she really is. Flair does the wheel and keeps walking to the ring as we go to commercial. Back from break, and out comes SmackDown Live Women's Champion Asuka as Charlotte Flair looks on. We get a formal ring introduction from Greg Hamilton. The announcers are surprised that this is a title match, and you, along with me and everyone else, is like, they're going to fuck Asuka over. They're going to fuck Asuka over for the betterment of Charlotte Flair. This is what, 8 championship reigns for Charlotte Flair now? 8? And this is the second time that she beats Asuka for the Women's Championship in the span of a year? Absolutely fucking ridiculous. This is fucking bullshit. These two have another great match here, but at the end of the match, we see Asuka with more offense. Asuka goes to the top turnbuckle, but Flair decks her. Flair climbs up with Asuka and hits a super finish fly for a big pop. Asuka still kicks out. Somehow, and Flair can't believe it. Flair looks on at the WrestleMania 35 sign and talks to herself about how she needed to finish it. Asuka pulls Flair into a triangle submission. Flair powers up and still locked in. Flair drops her into a sit-out powerbomb, which is always a great spot when somebody can deadlift somebody into a sit-out powerbomb from that position. But Asuka kicks out at 2. They tangle on the mat with the counters and submission attempts. Flair avoids the Asuka lock. Flair goes right into the figure 4, bridges into the figure 8, and Asuka taps out again. And we have a new SmackDown Live Women's Champion in Charlotte Flair. Why did this match happen this way? Why did Charlotte Flair win the championship? I think there's about 2 or 3 reasons. One reason, because Becky Lynch is winning the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania, and they can't fathom Charlotte Flair walking out of WrestleMania without a championship around her waist. They can't. She has to be a champion going out of WrestleMania. 2, they're unifying the championships, which would be absolutely fucking ridiculous. We have Naomi, Carmella, which, yeah, she is what she is. Nikki Cross, who can be on SmackDown. We don't know what's going on with Nikki Cross. Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, all those women who should be able to... You're pretty much telling these women, you're not good enough for WrestleMania, see you in the Battle Royal. The SmackDown Live, like, Asuka deserved better. Absolutely. This triple threat match did not need Charlotte Flair. This triple threat match did not need the SmackDown Women's Championship. Any fucking idiot out there who thinks that this improves the match at all, you are a fucking moron. This match did not need any improving whatsoever. We didn't need to see Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, or Ronda Rousey last night in a beat-the-clock challenge that absolutely proved nothing. We did not need to see Charlotte Flair beat Asuka on the way to WrestleMania. We are 12 nights away from WrestleMania, and now Asuka's in the Battle Royal. It's sad because last year's Royal Rumble winners are both going to be subjugated to the Battle Royal now. The Andre Memorial Battle Royal for Nakamura, if he's even there, and Asuka's going to be in the Women's Battle Royal because WWE can't fathom to see Charlotte Flair without championship gold around her waist, and they have no choice but to put the Raw Women's Championship on Becky Lynch, especially in that main event. If Becky doesn't walk out in WrestleMania as the Raw Women's Champion, they are playing with fire, and it's going to burn them pretty badly. There was everything after Becky Lynch won the Royal Rumble. This match was good. We didn't need to see Becky Lynch or Ronda Rousey pretty much at all after the night after the Royal Rumble when she made her decision. You could have kept these two off of TV until the go home show, and everything would have been great. Everything, adding Charlotte, adding this making this a triple threat match, adding the Women's Championship from SmackDown is just forced and makes the championship match worse. Yes, the match is probably going to be great, but I guarantee you it would be so much better if it was just Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey. Of course, the reason they put Charlotte Flair in there is because if Ronda Rousey is gone and if Ronda Rousey drops the title to Becky Lynch and then disappears for about 6 months, WWE doesn't want to do that and have the main event of WrestleMania only have the post WrestleMania shows only have one of the main event wrestlers on their show. So they wanted to throw Charlotte Flair in there. This is just fucking stupid. Yes, it takes a championship opportunity away from everybody else on SmackDown. Now, if they're not unifying the titles and Charlotte Flair is staying on SmackDown and Becky's going to Raw with the Raw Women's Championship, that is why they did this. For the simple fact is they want to keep the title on SmackDown and give it a credible champion, which I don't know. Asuka, and what sucks about Asuka, she does deserve better. Becky Lynch said on Twitter that Asuka deserves better, and I agree with her. Asuka deserves better than this. There was supposed to be a fatal four-way between the two members of the Fabulous Glow versus both members of the Fire and Desire, with the winner going to face Asuka at WrestleMania. Hopefully by Saturday I have a reason why they did this, but I gave you the reason right there. There's two reasons. Charlotte had to go into WrestleMania as a champion because Vince McMahon can't fathom Becky Lynch winning the Raw Women's Championship and Charlotte Flair walking out of WrestleMania without a championship. And two, they're unifying the championships and Becky's going to walk out with both championships, which would be absolutely fucking stupid. Fox has already come out and said they don't want superstars from Raw and SmackDown commingling with each other like you've seen recently with, last week we had the Boston Hug Connection on SmackDown. Fox doesn't want that. They want the brand split intact. SmackDown superstars are SmackDown superstars and Raw superstars are Raw superstars. So doing this is just fucking stupid. Instead of doing the right thing and building up your women's divisions on both shows to where they actually make sense, what do? Let's just take the women's championships. Let's merge them together. This was just a bad move. If anybody thinks this is a good idea, it makes the match much bigger. It makes it more box office. You're a fucking idiot. Ronda Rousey is the only fucking reason that match is in the main event. It wouldn't have fucking mattered if Charlotte Flair if Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch were the Raw and SmackDown Women's Champions going into WrestleMania to clash with each other. It would not even be anywhere close to the main event. The only reason this championship match is in the main event is Ronda fucking Rousey. All you needed was Ronda versus Becky. Charlotte Flair and the SmackDown Women's Championship should have been nowhere near this fucking match. Period. After the match, Flair takes the title and gets emotional as the music hits. Flair sits up on her knees and clutches the title as we see WrestleMania 35 sign in the background. And of course we have her going to the match. I just can't. It's fucking pathetic. Out comes Kurt Angle to make his way to the ring with the use of chants and whatnot. Angle versus Styles. This was one of those matches that we all should have been happy to see. But back when Greg and Sarah Strawberry was backstage with AJ Styles asking about tonight's match on the farewell tour of Kurt Angle. Also mentioning his own WrestleMania 35 match with Randy Orton. Or AJ says he's honored to be Angle's last opponent on SmackDown and very privileged to have been part of Angle's career. They've had some great battles in TNA. If you have not seen them, just like I said last night with Samoa Joe, you should go check them out. And proud to be in the ring with Angle tonight. AJ says he's not taking Angle lightly tonight. This is not a warm-up match, especially with WrestleMania right around the corner. AJ goes on and says Angle may have laid the foundation, but this is the house that AJ Styles built. Out comes AJ as Angle looks on. The bell rings and they have a show of respect. At 4 pop, Angle hits an early German suplex. Angle keeps control and goes for an Angle slam attempt, but can't get it. AJ comes back and drops Angle right into the calf crusher, and I'm like, wait a minute, they're going to the finish already? Angle hangs on and looks at the bottom rope. Angle rolls right over into his ankle lock. Angle gets his feet and tightens the hold as AJ tries to get free. AJ sends Angle into the middle of the turnbuckle to break it up. Randy Orton suddenly enters the ring out of nowhere and drops AJ with the RKO to signal the end of the match. Why did this have to go like this? Is it because yeah. So, and it's going to be sad because this was a short match. This match maybe lasted 3 or 4 minutes, and I guarantee you this match was better than what we'll see at WrestleMania. This was a complete letdown, and I know Angle's old. He's like 50 years old. AJ's like 40. AJ's like not even that much younger than Kurt Angle. But this match, they should have got a little bit more time. I think this entire show outside of this match reeks of rewrite completely. This entire show, we had a fatal 4-way scheduled to see the winner face Asuka at WrestleMania. That got scratched away for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship match. I guarantee you that gauntlet match tonight was not scheduled last week. Was not written in until probably last minute. This entire show screams and just reeks of rewrite. Honestly, you could have given this match a little bit more time to get these to have an extra farewell tour. It sucks that the fact that AJ Styles won this match by disqualification. If it's a farewell tour, I don't like seeing DQ matches like DQs happening, but it happened. After the match, Angle comes back up and lays Orton down with an Angle slam. Angle stands tall as the music hits, and the others are still down. We see a video from earlier today. Caleb Braxton talking to Rey Mysterio and his son Dominic, asking about the WrestleMania 35 match with the United States champion Samoa Joe. Rey's son mentions how Joe is selfish and nothing like Kofi Kingston or his dad. Why is Dominic, of all people, mentioning Kofi Kingston? Why? Can someone answer me that one? I don't get. I just don't. Obviously, something's going to happen at WrestleMania between Samoa Joe and Dominic. Dominic ain't the little kid from 2005 who was being fought over for custody. I believe he was there when CM Punk was targeting Rey Mysterio's daughter, but in 2000, I think it was 9. But he's not that little kid anymore. It would not surprise me if we hear Dominic Gutierrez has signed a development contract with WWE, and he's in NXT. Prince Mysterio coming to WWE in 2020. And nothing like Kofi, his dad, Rey Mysterio says he will teach Joe a lesson at WrestleMania when he stands up for himself and his family and becomes United States champion. First off, we really haven't heard and I haven't heard a promo from Joe on Rey Mysterio yet. Why is Rey Mysterio making this personal already? Isn't that something Samoa Joe should have did already? Did I miss something here? Did I miss something over the last two, Raw, SmackDown last week and Raw this week? I don't remember Joe talking about Rey Mysterio's family, so why is the family thing coming in already? Back from break, Miz is waiting in the ring with a fans chant, Miz is awesome, and Miz agrees with them. Yep. Miz talks about how he has a vision of tearing Shane apart at WrestleMania 35. Miz says Shane has a fire in him like he hasn't experienced in a long time. Miz talks about how Shane attacked him in front of his dad and made it personal. Miz wants to make sure everyone in the world sees him decimate Shane. He wants this to be a Falls Count Anywhere match. Miz goes on until out comes Shane McMahon with a security team, the Colones, Shelton Benjamin, and Sanity in between Miz and Shane McMahon. Shane is out last, and he actually came out and did his usual shuffle that he usually would do, which I think he should actually stop because he is a heel now. What he did on Tuesday, where he just, after Fastlane, where he walked out and was like, fuck the fans, was actually, I think, a lot better than what they did tonight. Speaking from the stage behind both groups' production, Shane has Hamilton renounce him as the best in the world. Shane says the security is out here for Miz's benefit to protect him from Shane. Villain 101. Shane brings up the stipulation request and says Miz must be as dumb as Miz's dad looks. Shane shows a photo of him grabbing Miz's dad by the face in Fastlane. Shane goes on about how good the beating to Miz and his dad felt. He felt euphoric, he said. He's actually said it felt euphoric, and he can't wait to do it again. As far as your stipulation goes, he accepts at WrestleMania. So on top of the fact that we have a career match in a no-holds-barred, now we have a Falls Count Anywhere match at WrestleMania. Shane regrets not doing more harm to Miz's dad and punishing him for spawning his biggest Miz take. Like, oh, the puns. Oh, the puns. Shane says that's when he impregnated Miz's mother. Oh, the personal jabs by Shane McMahon. Miz takes out Miz. Rushes from the ring and tries to fight through security. Miz takes them out, but the heel superstars are waiting on the ramp now. A guard comes from behind, but Miz drops in. Miz starts brawling with the superstars. Now he takes out the Cologne, Shelton Benjamin, and Sanity after they but Sanity triple teamed him at ringside. And Eric Young bolts at Killing Dane, and Alexander Wolf launches Miz into the barrier. But Miz eventually fights back and takes everyone out as Shane watches from the stage, and Shane retreats to the back as Miz stands tall. So, yes, Sanity and the Colognes are still alive. They're still there. They still have jobs. Shelton Benjamin, we saw a couple weeks ago. We see him here tonight. And Miz just buried Sanity even further than they already were. You know your career in WWE is going absolutely nowhere when you're part of these kind of segments. They had a gauntlet match for tag teams later in the night. And that did not include the Colognes or Sanity. Tell me, just show you, that gauntlet match had the Good Brothers in it. That had the Good Brothers in it, but it didn't have Sanity or the Colognes. Just shows you how far Sanity has fallen. Speaking of, we had a video of Braun Strowman and Alexa Bliss and all that stuff. And speaking of, we have Xavier Woods and Big E versus Luke Gallows, Carlos, and Rusev Nakamura at the bar and the Usos. And out came... We go out to the ring, and out comes the New Day, Big E and Xavier Woods with Kofi Kingston. Kofi heads to the back as Big E and Woods head to the ring, as he has been banned from ringside, as he should be. Back from breaking, out comes Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson. Tom says Kofi is banned from ringside for the entire gauntlet match. Woods and Anderson go at it to start the match, back and forth for a few minutes. Big E comes in, and they hit the up, down, down within 2 minutes. It feels like within 2 minutes. Double team move to get the easy elimination on the Good Brothers, pinning Anderson. That was it. Like, boom. They come in, brawl a little bit. Up, down, down, which is the Midnight Hour. I don't know why they changed the name. I know it's Up, Down, Down is the YouTube show, and that's them advertising it, or the YouTube channel. I like Midnight Hour better. Just saying. Out comes Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura, who, again, these guys don't have plans for WrestleMania, so it looks like they're going to the Battle Royal. Again, Asuka and Shinsuke Nakamura both won the Royal Rumbles for the women and the men last year. Both had matches at WrestleMania. Both lost at WrestleMania. Both are destined for the men and women's Battle Royals going into WrestleMania. How sad is that? How fucking low have you fallen? That's sad. It really is. We see the Hardy Boys, who were not in this either, by the way. Were not in this. Rey Mysterio, Becky Lynch, and Kofi Kingston backstage watching the match, as we saw last week with the Kofi Kingston thing. Every time they go back there, more people were shown. Back and forth to start, Nakamura turns it around and loads on Woods with a couple strikes. Nakamura drops Woods out of the corner and covers for a 2 count. Rusev tags in and mounts Woods with a big strength, and Lana cheers him on. Rusev tosses Woods out of the ring in front of Lana. We go to commercial break. We go a little bit further in this match, and Rusev and Woods go at it now. Woods sends Rusev through the ropes to the floor. Woods runs to the ropes and drop kicks Rusev through them. Nakamura takes Woods out. Nakamura waits in the corner, but Big E blocks the Kinshasa. Big E sends Nakamura shoulder first into the ring post. Woods tags it, and they deliver another up, down, down for the 1, 2, 3. Kofi and friends cheer Woods on. Woods and Big E on from backstage. Out next comes the Bar, Sheamus and Cesaro, and we go to commercial break as the New Day look on. Back from break, we see more superstars watching as Sheamus and Big E ground. Sheamus has Big E grounded in the middle of the ring. Sheamus keeps control, and in comes Cesaro with a big Cesaro swing attack. Cesaro applies a sharpshooter on Big E now. Big E ends up overpowering, kicking Cesaro through the ropes to the floor. Sheamus quickly comes in and stops Big E from tagging out. Sheamus stomps away on Big E. Big E ends up fighting both of the bar off. He crawls for the tag, but has to stop in the backdrop. We see Kofi and friends more and more as we go. Backstage, watching the tag attempt, getting hyped up. Woods finally gets the hot tag and goes right to work against Cesaro. Sheamus runs in, but Woods kicks him in the head. Woods counters the move with a big tornado DDT to Sheamus. Woods runs the ropes and leaps out of the ring, taking down the bar on the floor as the fans pop. Woods brings it back in and goes to the top, nailing the big leg drop on Cesaro. Woods covers for a pin, but Sheamus breaks it up and goes back to commercial. As we get towards the end of this match, back from break, and it's actually not too far after this. The bar is still controlled. Big E and Sheamus kick Woods off the apron. Sheamus ends up going for a bro kick, but he turns it into a big powerbomb for a pin attempt. Woods tags in, and Cesaro comes in. More back and forth between Woods and Cesaro. The chaos leads to Woods rolling Sheamus up for a pin. In the next elimination, Kofi's group backstage is much larger, and they all celebrate the pin. The bar then attack Big E and Xavier Woods after the bell, focusing on where they hurt Cesaro. Cesaro brings a table from under the ring, and as Tom says, the New Day have now been in the match for over 23 minutes. They bring the table in the ring, and Big E gets driven through it. The next tag team out is the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos. Now, Jimmy and Jey Uso hit the ring while Big E is still down on the table debris. Wood stands in between them. The Usos take the mic and talk about how they fought wars with the New Day, and how they fought wars over the years with the New Day. No one deserves a WWE Championship match more than Kofi Kingston. Fans chant for Kofi. They said the Usos say that Kofi and the New Day have already earned our respect and respected everyone in the locker room and the fans. The Usos wish the New Day good luck, and they say we forfeit and walk out. So far the Usos, out of respect, which I actually think was pretty good that we actually had them do that, because the Usos aren't the heels that they used to be when they first chop blocked Chad Gable and took him out during the SmackDown Tag Team Championships tournament, which they ended up losing anyway, but they were heels back then. They're more tweeners now. They're where they need to be. They're not heel, they're not face. But these guys, after the Hell in a Cell match in 2017, came out and said, we have respect for you guys, so just keeping that respect going, and they forfeit, which is nice. It looks like the match is over, and Kofi's going to WrestleMania. We cut backstage to Daniel Bryan and Rowan. They are furious as they start destroying everything as we go to commercial. Back from break, and we see the trainers checking on Big E and Woods in the ring. It's announced that the New Day must face one more tag team in the gauntlet. And of course, who would that be? Daniel Bryan and Rowan. They immediately attack and start destroying Woods and Big E. Woods is laid out at the ringside after having his leg wrapped around the ring post. Tom says they have been in this match for just over 33 minutes. I don't think it was actually that long. I think Tom Phillips, as WWE likes to do, is embellishing. Bryan brings it in the ring and goes at it with Big E now. Big E nails Bryan and clubs away on Rowan, who is on the apron. Big E tries to reach Woods, but Bryan stops him and applies a half-crowd submission. Bryan yells at Big E to give it up, tightening the hold. We get to the end of this match, and Woods fights off Bryan on the outside, nailing a big tornado DDT. On the floor, Rowan, who was ordered to clear the announce table, goes up for the iron claw on Woods, but is blocked. Big E and Woods send Rowan into the ring post twice. Big E tosses Rowan over the announce table, and I thought this was very creative the way they ended this. Big E and Eric Rowan, I believe, were the legal men. They throw him over the table. Big E, with the strength that he has, which is not that really strong of a table anyway, takes the announce table and just tips it over top of Rowan, trapping him. Big E and Woods return to the ring as the referee counts Rowan down for 10. And the New Day win. One, it's great because you don't have Daniel Bryan or Eric Rowan taking another pinfall loss. And two, it's a way to end the match on a positive note. After the bell, Hamilton finally announces that Kofi Kingston is going to WrestleMania. As the New Day music hits, out comes Kofi to the ring for the back of the celebrate with Woods and Big E. Fans start chanting Kofi's name as we go to replays. Kayla Braxton approaches Vince McMahon backstage as he's getting in his limousine. She mentions the New Day winning the gauntlet match, and he said it was impressive. She asks Vince if this means Kofi's going to WrestleMania, and he says it does. Vince says the question now is if a B-plus player can defeat Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship title. Vince says goodnight and gets in his limousine, and we see him drive away. Camera goes back to the ring as the New Day continues to celebrate with Becky Lynch, Kevin Owens, which the Hardy Boys, R-Truth, Carmella, Naomi, Ricochet, Aleister Black, which were not on the show, mind you, Mustafa Ali, which I'll get to that in a second, The Miz, and other superstars down from the locker room. They surround the ring, and Byron Saxton gets up from the announce table to join them. The superstars surround the ring, shake the ropes, and beat the apron to cheer Kofi on, as we see Bryan down on the outside against the barrier and clutching the WWE title as he looks on the celebration. SmackDown goes off the air with the New Day celebrating. So, yes, Kofi Kingston is going to WrestleMania, man. I don't see Kofi Kingston winning the WWE Championship. There are three major title matches happening at WrestleMania. Kofi versus Daniel Bryan, Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey. Those three matches, only two of them are winning the titles. The two people that we see. Either Seth is not winning, Kofi is not winning, because Becky Lynch has got to win the Raw Women's Championship, plain and simple. If it's coming down to Kofi or Seth. And honestly, when you think about it, Seth is probably... I don't think Kofi's going to hold the title for very long if he does win it. Seth's not winning the WWE, the Universal Championship, let me tell you that right now. Kofi's going to win it for one reason. The biggest factor is, we harken back to right before Crown Jewel. It came out that Daniel Bryan, who was scheduled to face AJ Styles for the WWE Championship at Crown Jewel, did not want to go to Crown Jewel. He did not want to go to that place because, and honestly, he didn't want to win the number one contenders match that they had for him and The Miz at Super Showdown because he didn't want to go to Crown Jewel. So everyone thinking it was because of what happened with Jamal Khashoggi. It had nothing to do with that. Daniel Bryan never wanted to go to Crown Jewel, even back when it was at the Super Showdown. But he didn't want to go then. I don't think Daniel Bryan's going to want to go this time either. So they could give the championship to Kofi Kingston, have him defend the title against Samoa Joe or Randy Orton or anybody. Actually, I think it should be Randy Orton. If Kofi Kingston wins the WWE Championship at WrestleMania, Kofi Kingston takes the title to Saudi Arabia to face Randy Orton, and he beats Randy Orton for the WWE Championship, and that would be the best. That'd be the best way to take all those years, all the talk of Kofi Kingston's championship push because he was supposed to. There was talk about when he dropped the Jamaican accent and he started to be more serious when he was feuding with Randy Orton. That was going to lead to a Kofi Kingston championship opportunity. That never came because of Randy Orton pitched a fit, I guess, backstage, and Kofi Kingston became a mid-carder forever. Now, if Kofi Kingston wins the WWE Championship, he takes it to Saudi Arabia because Daniel Bryan doesn't want to go to Saudi Arabia. He faces Randy Orton and he beats Randy Orton, and all that just goes away. Then, at the next pay-per-view, which I believe is Money in the Bank, Daniel Bryan's going to probably beat Kofi Kingston for the WWE Championship. Kofi's not holding the title past the pay-per-view past Saudi Arabia. Just isn't happening. Kofi Kingston's getting a token title run, and it's great for him to have, but that is as far as he's going to go. Is it great for him? Good. It's like 11 years of service, in my opinion. 11 years of service in professional wrestling. You should get at least one championship reign, whether it's a week, a month, or even if it's a month. If he holds the title for a month and a half, hey, he did something half that roster will never get to do. Hold the WWE Championship and be a WWE Champion. That'll be something. He would be actually... Let me think this one. If Kofi Kingston wins the WWE Championship, he would be the 51st new champion. You know who number 50 was? Jinder Mahal. Yeah. I think it's time that WWE gave the championship to somebody else that wasn't. So we have the latest champion was Kofi Kingston. So yeah, Kofi Kingston has a chance to be the 51st champion and be like the newest of WWE champions outside of what Jinder Mahal did. I had that one come out of my head for a minute. So that was SmackDown Live for you. Before we go, as we all know, we heard it yesterday, Mustafa Ali is no more to WWE. He is just Ali. I'm sorry. And from here on out, just like Andrade Cien almost, Mustafa Ali will always be Mustafa Ali on this channel. I don't give a fuck what WWE thinks. I don't care what Vince McMahon thinks. Mustafa Ali was a badass name. I loved that name since Mustafa Ali made his debut in the Cruiserweight Classic. I thought it was an awesome name. The fact that they want to strip him away with his title, with his name, I'm surprised they didn't just go with Mustafa. I'm surprised they kept the Ali name. I'm surprised they didn't just call I think it's from Chicago, Mustafa. I think that would have been interesting. But they want to keep Ali. I don't know why. It's fucking stupid. It just makes you like everybody else. Having him come out and be Mustafa Ali gives him a sense of he felt like he was his own person. Having him now, he's now like Cesaro, Sheamus, Big E. It won't be too long before Xavier Woods just becomes Woods and Kofi Kingston's just Kofi. It's absolutely ridiculous. Mustafa Ali was a great name. Ali just makes you sound like a generic superstar again. It's just like everyone else. It's absolutely ridiculous. Would you want Jeff Hardy to be Jeff and Matt to be Matt? Rey Mysterio just to be Mysterio? Charlotte Flair just to be... she was Charlotte and then he gave her the Flair name, which was odd that she was the only person to gain a name instead of lose a name. You want Becky just to be Lynch? It's just absolutely ridiculous. It's so stupid. WWE continues to do this. But that is nothing else I can really rant about. I have to, this will be different next week. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, comment, hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Follow me on Twitter at The Frost. Follow me on twitch.tv/Frost08. I will see you guys tomorrow for NXT. The Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Finals happen. Will the Forgotten Sons topple Aleister Black and Ricochet, or will Ricochet and Aleister Black be heading to TakeOver New York? And also, will Ricochet and Aleister Black be doing double duty that weekend by taking on the Revival for the Raw Tag Team Championships at WrestleMania? Only time will tell. Until then, see you guys later. My name is Franz, and I am out of here.